Hello and welcome on the third episode of the series Know Your Sarpanchas. Today we have with us a dynamic personality, a lady Sarpanch, Mrs. Freda Disa. She is the elected Sarpanch from Nuvem village and is presently elected from ward number 4. She has been elected the ward member for the 4th time. Welcome, Freda Disa.
Hi.
Freda, in your ward, you have been elected for the 4th time. Now, how many wards are there, the village panchayat Nuvem?
Village Panchayat Nuvem consists of about 11 wards. Not about, it is 11 wards.
And women reservation in those wards?
See, as it is a panchayat of 11 wards, we have 4 which are reserved for the women, and 1 has always been done for the ST reservation.
First time. Now, since you're elected for a number of times, first time, what made you contest?
I stay in ward number 6. I contested from ward number 4, which is a neighboring ward, and it was during the by-elections in 2010. My husband, Mildred, he was a deputy Sarpanch then in Nuvem Panchayat. He contested for the South Goa Zilla Parishad elections from Nuvem village, and he won it with a thumping victory. So there was a void which was there in the Nuvem Panchayat from ward number 4. So therefore the people urged me. They told Babashan, we need your wife, we need you, your presence is required, and therefore they convinced me. I was normally not interested in politics, it's a normal thing. I'm a homemaker, I'm more interested in for a government job rather, with a law LLB degree in my hand. And somehow destiny struck me, and that's how I'm into politics now. I won with a thumping victory in 2010, and thereafter elections took place in 2012. It was a woman reserved that time. I won again with a good victory. 2017, I won again. It was a general seat. And now 2022 again, women reserved seat. I won again.
Ms. Freda, I have seen that from school also you were the local leader there. Even in school you were one of the leaders. Subsequently, you are also quite qualified, in fact overqualified for the job. So, the local agenda for getting elected, what did the voters expect from you?
See, as you have already mentioned about my qualifications, I have passed out my 10th from an ICSE board school, Manovikas English Medium School, Margao. I did my higher secondary and college section in BCom, from the Kamal College for Women in Nuvem. Finished my law from Govind Kare College of Law, Margao. And see, what all these people, the locals actually saw in me was I was good enough education wise, but in politics what you all require is a social touch among the people. They had seen what Babashan has actually been among them. They expected something from me. They wanted to see maybe Ardangini of Babashan. So that is how they made me feel that warmth. They had a lot of expectations, and that is but natural from your voter, from your ward person, and that personal niche which comes in between both of us, between the voter and myself. So, and I think they had an expectation. They saw my personal characteristics, which normally the voter sees: the competence, the compassion, the approachability, your helpful nature, leadership qualities, and undoubtedly my voters, my people, have seen that in me and have got me elected right now.
Freda, now your husband also has been an MLA. You are also a dynamic Sarpanch. Plus you have children also, I believe 3 children are there.
Yes, yes.
How do you manage all these things? For a lady, I believe it's very difficult. Soglen sambadpa, soglen korpa, soglen sopa. And husband might be liaising with different people. Garakde lok burpur rehta astalo. So soglen to kitko sambarta?
See, we are blessed. We women are blessed. It is, you have to agree it. We are always on an upper hand. We are been always put to different situations. We are sometimes even put down to situations. From there, it is up to us as women, as whether we have to lift ourselves up, we have to stay strong, we have to have the ability. Again, I would say, my upbringing, my parents, they also had a very difficult time, My father was abroad, my mother is to do up all the work at home. We have been witnesses to that. She has been a great example to me, my mother. She is a multitask lady. When she was there, she ran a very famous joint at that moment, and plus made us educate, you know. And Babashan, to the most, always knew the abilities in me. That is why he always put me to test, even when he was the MLA, or whether he was a very, you could say, a politician who was always on the go, always on the ground. I had to manage my children, I had to manage my family, I had to manage my education, because the first time, you know, when I was answering my law, I was carrying, I was expecting. So that was also a test trial which God sent on to me. And we women are empowered. You put us to a test, we are there, yeah. We can do it, and we women are there. So for all that, we bring a revolution at times if it is required. If you really want a woman to come out, yes, we are there.
Ms. Freda, what is the local agenda for getting elected in your wards there? What voters expect once elected?
Mildred, I just said, people see your personal characteristics. They see the compassion in you, your helpful nature, your approachability, how helpful you are, your leadership qualities. Then whether they, once they approach you, whether you can maintain that relationship with them. The voter first at our level, at our local level, I'm not talking about assembly elections or other all the MP elections. For us local, it is very important that that trust has been created between the voter and me. And so yes, and they first see whether this lady or this man, he or she, are capable of trusting. That is what they see. Trusting because they have their personal issues, Mildred. When it comes to local panchayat, it is your personal issues. Is as good as a ward member becoming your family member, if you treat so. And it is what they see from me.
Now, Ms. Freda, you were elected 4 times the ward panch, and in this term, you were elected the Sarpanch. How did you figure out that, you know, that this term you would be elected? Or what exact movement went across to elect you the Sarpanch this time?
Mildred, I honestly tell you, I had a cakewalk, you know, from 2010 until 2017. Babashan was the MLA in 2017. And that time also, we, out of 11 members, 10 was our panel, 10 members. And that time also it was a request of, you know, all the members to make me the Sarpanch. But there is one rule of Babashan that he never wanted family politics. He didn't want family Raj. He would say, like, you know, he said it would be Sarpanch is also my wife, I am also the MLA. Why do we have all the powers with us? Let the people function. You are there. So this time, so all these years until 2024, you know, 22, sorry, I didn't become when there was. But this time, it was a testing time for us because Babashan was defeated this time. And coincidentally and God's luck and everything, his panel who had supported him, we got re-elected this time.
The people were with you all.
Yes, because even for this time he said, no, you don't contest the elections. But there were people from my ward who came to, the news was, you know, out that I'm not contesting. So people came, neighboring village, ward people came from Nuvem, even neighboring ex-sarpanchas, neighboring villages. They said, Babashan, na, dur theka. So she needs to go there and she needs to be there. So therefore I am today the Sarpanch here. So once we are elected, we all get together. It is normally the current MLA who does this, who brings about, forms his panel. But here it was the ex-MLA who brought us all together, and here is the panel today.
Vision ji asta Sarpanchaji and panchayat members, how to progress the village, that criteria and all. How do you all affect it? Or how do you all see Nuvem village another, say, 4, 5 or 10 years from now?
No sooner I became the Sarpanch, the first interview which I gave, I said, my village should be such a village that I should keep it for my children. You know, virasat, mere bachon ke liye. Like, it's like that. I want to keep it for my children. I want to foresee it. Undoubtedly, India is having long strides towards development. Through developmental forces, there are a lot, but the sense of a village had to be maintained. And that is our vision, Nuvem Panchayat vision. My panel is with me, our entire members are with us. We need development, but not at the cost of certain things, not at the cost of my environment. You know, we have the river Sal flowing through Nuvem. We have to maintain that. There are issues which are coming in, mobile towers which are coming in, roads which are being formed. So, various things. So, these things, this development which whatever is required, but not at a cost of our environment. our Gram Sabha is also quite vibrant. We have a number of people coming in, and they also suggest we need development. Even when proposals are being brought to the panchayat, we at local level we try to find out what are the problems, what happens. Garbage issue is one. We are trying to tackle it very well. So no sooner I became, first thing what came to my mind was my workplace. मुगे जो place आहा कामाचो तो upgrade जावपाक जाय. The benchmark of the village panchayat should come up. So I got the upgradation done of the office which is there, and there we had our waste treatment plant, garbage treatment plant. During Baba Shan's tenure through GWMC, we got the 1 ton machinery. So this time I made it much more ahead. I saw that day-to-day collection has been done. In the Salsit block, we belong to the A-class panchayat, Nuvem panchayat. It is one of the panchayats, I would say, not very sure. I think 2 panchayats down in the south, we collect the dry and the wet. So this has been done by us. So all premises of the panchayat where I could reap revenue and bring in the revenue to the panchayat so that I could aid my ward members to do various developmental works under panchayat funds. I have done that.
Tuki village, it is also touching Margaon one side and touching Verna, the village panchayat one side, where the industrial estate is located. Now, therefore, there will be a lot of migrant issue, garbage problem astolo, and so-called crime or illegality astoli. How does your panchayat tackle all this?
एक मुद्दे तो जाना कि Margaon is already overspilling. Development design, zayt loka ki in shopa wapa, and those effects are being seen in Naveli village already. Plus point with Nuvem village is, as you enter from Margaon to Nuvem, you will see both the sides fields. Whether it is NH 17 or 66, you will see all fields. So therefore, development at that stretch, it is not there, if you try to notice, and it cannot be done because we have cultivators there. We are cultivating those fields, and we will always like it to be untouched, more so. So as we come to the signal end and all, you will see definitely development taking place. We give construction licenses for projects. Amge local hai to lok. See, one thing you have to understand is the economy today is suffering. There is something that goinkra ko poisna. So jato poisna goinkra kode amke local bakar hai. Zaid zan loka ha apna land sell ko tai, and for development purpose tai locals itself. So they have your flats on, you have your shops, commercial purposes, income is getting in. We have our locals who are also what you could say are contractors. They bring a number of migrants in. They will make up rooms to rent them out or to keep those label. We require migrants. At the same time, it is the onus of the person who is keeping them, renting them. This is our garbage issue. This is the day when our collection comes in. Education starts from home, and this is what I always tell during Gram Sabhas. You all have to help us to tackle this issue of garbage, migrants. Even if we tell them to get the police verification done, we see to it. Even when sometimes people come with us to attestation of Aadhaar card, for the migrants, they tell us to put their address. I make it pen down and I say I need the owner's NOC here. Oh, I need to see the owner. I will tell the owner what are the outcomes, what will happen if these things happen. So we goans ourselves are doing that. First thing is we have to tackle ourselves properly. We have to educate even the person who we are renting out. When is the garbage being done? What? Construction licenses, ward member sees to it. In the vicinity किती हाँ, local आगे कित problem हाँ, दुसऱ्या आगे कित problem हाँ, drainage problem हाँ, तो कौन construction को था, टैक्स सांगतो आम्ही, उमके drain तू बांधून दी हमका through CSR funds. So this is the way we try to, manage the entire work here. So we're trying to tackle. As of now, at least we are doing it good.
Now, staff strength जो हाँ तुझो. How much is the staff strength, and what daily day-to-day activities are done by the panchayat, and what works undertaken by your panchayat?
We are an A-class panchayat. So we have 3 clerks and 1 peon. Daily is panchayat revenue mudai to amge issue of some certificates, divergencies now, income certificates now, residence certificates now. All these birth, death, they are all been done. Birth and death is all of the secretaries thing, but it's a revenue to the panchayat. So these things are there. Construction licenses we issue. So occupancies are being given. That's a revenue to the panchayat. And plus, we get what is called as, based on this revenue, we get something called as matching grants. To, like suppose whatever is the revenue, and I remember I think last to last financial year we had about 2.5 lakhs which was been given by the state government to us. Yeah, and then this year we had 23, 24, about 3.5, 4 lakhs I think. That is to run the administration. So this is how the funds get into the panchayat.
Meetings for allocation of these funds or whatever activities you all are supposed to do. What types of meetings you all hold, how are they held, and whether notice is given to the local villages and how the notice is given?
Mildred, first thing is that we have fortnightly meetings, panchayat fortnightly. It's a big village. So fortnightly we have, the agenda gets full, we have number of applications, and fortnightly we'll try to solve in the next 15 days. And the next 15 days, the next meeting has been held. So we don't keep any application pending, whether it is even correspondence to the government directly, to our department, to our hierarchy, or to the person who's aggrieved. We don't keep anything pending. Besides that, we have the Gram Sabha, which is held 4 times a year, and ordinary Gram Sabha. Then we have the extraordinary Gram Sabha in case if you require one, and special Gram Sabhas which have been held on. So notices for the Gram Sabha are given to the locals 7 days in advance. We put our announcement in the church. We make vocal announcements through the vehicle. That's it.
Now coming to your church, recently Banla Buridista, has the panchayat also helped in the build-up of this church, or in passing their papers across? Because it looks very beautiful whenever we pass by that side.
It is one of a very beautiful church that Nuvem has. We were long awaiting for it, and through your media I would actually try to congratulate Father Victor Rodriguez, our parish priest. He was very stern. And he understood the pulse of the people. He happens to be one of my very close, parish priest. We share a very healthy relationship. This church, as it was our dream, whatever was been required, be it construction license for its residents, for the church itself, we didn't keep any stone unturned here. We just finished it at any time, at any moment. Father required us. Whether it was even at the time of giving the occupancy, somehow the inauguration was been cancelled, which was supposed to be held on November 12th, and then it got cancelled because it was not ready. But there we stood, the panchayat stands by. After all, it is us. Every day in the church, you're a Christian community person. Mildred, you must be knowing, Bhavartya Magni, prayers of the faithful. They pray for us, the politicians, Raj Karbarya Pasot. So it is our duty to be with our religious. So we were there, we stood strong with the parish priest.
Now, as a Sarpanch, how do you ensure coordination with your rest of the panchas? Now you have opposition also, I believe. So how do you ensure that they are all in one line so that you all are working towards the progressive development that Nuvem village is?
Opposition, yes, Mildred. There are differences of opinion. When you come on the table, when we all 11 of us sit, there is differences of opinion. It is not something I will not see. I have seen various Gram Sabhas being held, wherein you will see sometimes the Panch members sit in the opposite side. Never an occasion has come, touch wood, at least in Nuvem Panchayat. Because whatever happens before the Gram Sabha, we talk, we discuss. It's a healthy discussion. Ultimately, amge hetu kite. Amchmo zugdi zaun kite zaun. That is what has been kept by me, my deputy Sarpanch, and all of us, and they understand it. We talk facts, reality. They tell me realities. We come to a conclusion. And that is why our vision is one thing, that we see the upliftment of our village. Nuvem village is such, it has the highest amount of literacy level there. Okay, so we have highest amount of literacy level in our Nuvem village. You will see government departments, a number of quota, a huge quota is working with the government department. So whether it is even at a administrative level or at a lower level, we have in the GMC, everywhere. So giving them the product, giving them and showing ourselves, we have to. And that is what we project ourselves as a united panchayat in front of people. Differences of opinion are there. Opposition See, opposition is when no confidence motion was been attempted against me. Things have been done to topple me, topple our panchayat. When we reach there, we are nobodies. We are of the people of Nuvem. We are for Nuvem. This is what my panchayat is working on.
Now, at the same time, you have to work with the panchayat secretary also. Do you all have a well-established relationship, or mache आटकोड येता वयर सकयल जाता?
One thing is my past experience of being into politics, into panchayat from 2010. I still remember I had Madam Nandita. She was there, an elderly lady. So I learned from there. Mildred, I'm always a good learner. I will never try to say that I have done. It's always me versus me in my life. So I'm always with these secretaries. I have had Sheikh, MK Sheikh. I've had Gracious, as an experience. I'm naming some of them. Then I've had Edwin Carvalho. These are secretaries, and right now Sunita Desai. I have learned a lot from them. See, what is more important is Sarpanchas are there, some Sarpanchas are there who are not adequate, not as much as qualified as I am. But yes, they must be knowing the act much better than me. So they will guide me. They have told me this is how. My relation at present, wherever it requires a discussion, we will have a healthy discussion. Sometimes it goes off beat. But then it is always that there is an adjustment. And through this adjustment, I think we are able to give the best to the people.
No, Freda, see what has happened is earlier your husband was the MLA, so coordination might have been very nice. Now there is another MLA. So how do you ensure coordination with the MLA or with the area MP or ministers to get the work done? Because end of the day, overall development of Nuvem is your priority as well as that of that particular MLA or even the MP. How do you all ensure that it is done?
Mildred, I must compliment the Panchayat Minister here, because these administrative staff which is there, right from the Panchayat Secretary to the BDO level, up to where it reaches to me, the hierarchy, it is excellent. So as far as whatever matters are there, for at least Nuvem Panchayat, I feel so, whatever matters are there, they get solved up, and they are being redressed at that administrative level, whether it is passing of file. It all depends upon how you treat your administration. The people at large, at the block, you respect, you give respect, you get respect. I will never carry the tag on me that I have been the wife of an ex-MLA. I will sit as an ordinary woman with them. I will sit there. I will see if a tender is being uploaded. I will sit there if the file has to move right from the inward clerk to wherever I have to go with my peon. I am there. So this type of a coordination has never made me feel that I yet need to go somewhere. You get me? I have been watching the local MLA's interviews of late. I was quite surprised nobody asked him the same question, how are you with the Sarpanchas? But for me, as when you know me, you just said, even in school, I was a sports lady. I run the relay, you give the baton in my hand, I justify that. I do everything what is possible for that particular position. So as a matter of protocol, if I need to, I will definitely, and I have to respect the protocol.
Zilla Parishad also, you all coordinate the same way, and BDO, because what happens is one side there is that 3-tier mechanism where Zilla Parishad also is there, tumchi panchayati asa ani MLA asa. So overall, you all somehow manage.
I am again saying, I am managing here because whatever the Panchayat Minister is doing right now, under his hierarchy, right from the Panchayat Secretary, I was very much... I must mention about Mr. Minin D'Souza. He was the Panchayat Secretary. He gives you very good guidance at level, at our level. So he was our Panchayat Secretary, just got retired in the month of November, where I have got all this guidance. Zilla Parishad, again I'm telling you, Zilla Parishad, they always ask us our GPTP, that is Gram Panchayat and Developmental Plan. We give it to them. And in case if the Zilla Panchayat, certain works have to be guided down to them. What member will be going there? We'll be telling the Zilla Panchayat member, I need this beautification, this, whichever is required. And then NOCs are seeked from the Panchayat. This is how we all coordinate and we do the work.
Now, Ms. Freda, recent issues that your Panchayat is tackling or has already tackled and solved.
Okay.
Can you Hindi भाषेत मोठ्या टिप्पणी दिवपाक शकता हे issues which you all have tackled?
Okay. Village Panchayat Nuvem, as first thing is when I got into here was I had a number of premises of the village Panchayat. Number of premises in the village Panchayat complex hamgeli. There's Fatlanpo area ahloli, the entirely was been rented out or let out to the fish vendors. But somehow the fish vendors were not making any business there. Right from, I think, from the time it was been constructed. So I asked them, because their SOPO collection was becoming quite, it was, aggravating. It was becoming much more. So I asked them whether they would be ready to hand over, and they said yes, and for which I have actually promised them, in case if I have another fish market somewhere else, I will give them preference to get that SOPO there. So that major area, and Nuvem being that premise of Nuvem in the new market complex of us, Nuvem being an area where there are a lot of farmers, agriculturalist people there, they wanted fertilizers, they wanted their seeds to be sold out, all sandro itai, kiva bata sota, then tyupa sota. Myself, I'm cultivating so much. So I don't have a buyer. So I kit kele, the entire complex pehati, Goa Bagyadar. We invited them. We said it was a Gram Sabha proposal wherein the people said we need it. So that particular area is been now leased out to Goa Bagyadar. That is one thing that I have done. Second thing what I have done is we had an old panchayat premise which was opposite to Kamal College. That I have leased out. We're trying in the process, in the pipeline, to lease out to the electricity department, subsection over there. It is in the pipeline. So I will be getting revenue out of here. That is one thing. There was major issue when Babashan was the MLA, he had put up signals. Okay? The signals were not working. On the roads we had accidents which were going on. There was a delegation, I must compliment the locals. They took the trouble, they went to the collector, even to the panchayat level. I sent letters to the CMO's office. We have sent letters to the panchayat minister somehow to maintain those signals. Thank you. Take magi so stretch doni highway. We have said that it is at Gorvote. We have said it is not for no entry for heavy vehicles. Upgradation of the panchayat. Then there are in the pipeline, but the ex-MLA has had work tendered and which have already been done. Corroded pipelines were there. So from Goa Raji, that is from Goa Raji to Goloi.
Goa Raji is that Honda.
Yeah, from Goa Raji to we had Goloi. So that pipeline has been changed. That is in the separate division. It's a bigger division that is in the higher end. But I must tell you that this has happened in Nuvem, in the Nuvem jurisdiction. Then from the pipeline from Nuvem Church Square to the border of Nuvem, the last border, that pipeline is being changed. That has been done at a higher level, which the local MLA must have, it was a proposal by the ex-MLA which has been done. But through your medium, I must tell that there is, I had bandh, culverts, one of, which is on the way from Nuvem Panchayat to Majorda, there is a culvert. I'm not sure about the name much, but that culvert was been taken for construction. That file has been tendered. I do not know how far it has reached. And then there is one more where the retaining wall at Rumde Bandh is being done, which is connecting to my ward. That is about a 1 CR. That is to be tendered. So I'm looking forward for these projects to be done also.
Now, Freda, that government support for funding of development projects and all, how is that given? And do you all face difficulty in the panchayat area? Because tumchi panchayat one side you will have a highway also coming and it's expanding every few years. So how do you all coordinate on all these things?
Mildred, I have told you that we have our panchayat fund. The main motive here was mine that I raise the panchayat fund so I can aid the ward members. There are trivial issues where people need us to cut dangerous trees which are on the roadside. We have drainages to be cleaned. All this, we try to do it from the panchayat fund. Besides that, I told you matching grants which are based on the revenue which has been, that is to control our administrative side. But besides this, we have our commission, the State Finance Commission, which we get from the central government. It's an outcome of the 73rd Amendment Act. Okay, 73rd, I must give credit to the administration of P.V. Narasimha Rao in the year 1992-93. The 73rd Amendment was been adopted, where he laid stress, decentralized democracy. That is, everybody should be heard. That is why we came into picture, the Gram Panchayat. So from there we have the State Commission, the Finance Commission. So we get this funds from the center, where the state legislature funds us, which is called as the 15th Finance, 14th Finance. And out of this 15th Finance, then we have 60% which is called as tied funds, 40% which is called as untied funds. Out of that 60%, 50% is which is we keep for health and sanitation purpose, drinking water and all, like your drainages, your well repairs and all, and remaining 40% is for beautification and all. So whatever fund that comes, like we had about 60 lakhs and all, we funded. Nuvem is a big village, 11 wards. So this time that the panchayat, we have said we have to compromise. If this GPDP, this annual year, we have done in 1, 2, 3. The next annual year we'll be doing 4, 5, 6. So that understanding is, and that fund is sufficient enough so far. If we get more, we have got liberation fund also. We've got liberation fund. Out of that, I have utilized the fund for doing up my premises. So stuff like that. We are managing well. So far, so good.
On this note, we thank Mrs. Freda for her wonderful showering of wisdom and सगळ्या ज्ञान दिला तो. And this dynamic lady is working on the advancement of her village. We thank you, Freda, once again.
Thank you so much for having me here.
On this note, we end today's episode. But we'll be coming with more episodes. Until then, keep watching CCR TV.